Welcome back to One Piece Anime Review episode 220. This one I am reviewing the 97th episode of the series, The Battle Under the Moon, the Berserker Sulong, and the 1030th chapter of the manga. Now, another one of those times where the title is a complete lie. There is no battle under the moon until the last couple minutes of the episode. Yes, I kind of wish they would stop doing this. They have these really cool titles and you don't have the sequence until the very end. Now this episode does that from pages 15 and 19 of chapter 987 and pages 2 through 5 of chapter 288. And yes, there is additions here. Is there any changes? Not really, no. It's most like a lot of additions. We do have two flashbacks shown in the episode. Yes. One actually shown at the very beginning, a flashback that's been shown several times. Mostly as relates to the recap from last week, where Kaido, when he got sliced up by Odin about 25 years for the rest of the series. Yep. And, yeah, so he apparently, gets up after being stabbed by, the 8 samurai. He gets up, uses his Rika probably to seal the wound. Possibly, it's not really explained here. Excuse me, and apparently off-screen, he transforms into a dragon form, and he tells Luffy, "I heard you say you want to kick my butt. I accept your challenge." And he just flies right up to the freaking roof. And before we continue there, we do briefly see that Big Mom is watching this, and along with Yamato and Luffy. Luffy doesn't do anything this episode, he just sees the stuff. And we see Hydro, the flower boss, where he has a spirit conversation here. And then we see a couple of additional scenes here that actually were not in the manga. First of which is basically Zoro, where he's confronted by a bunch of animal pirates who turn out to be disguised samurai, who agree to team up with him in order to get his path. He says he doesn't need help. And then we later see Killer slicing up a bunch of animal pirates. And of course, Captain Kidd is there. And then we see one of the, I think it's one of the Yakuza crime bosses. I think it's a female one. I don't remember her name. Where he's like, "Oh, thanks for clearing the way." He's like, "I'm here for Kaido's head, so don't give him away. Thanks for the warning." And then we'll later see another additional scene of Trafalgar Law with some more of the samurai. And I'm like, where the heck is his crew? Because last episode he was seen with his crew. Here he's not. I'm like, did his crew disappear off screen? So all he does is they throw this comedically little bomb you see in the cartoon, a big black bowling ball with a little thing on top, just throw it at me, and he just slices up one of the hordes, and he just shambles, and they blow up, and wow, that was it. Yeah, that's the additional content you see here, because still no Jinbei and Nika Robin are actually surprisingly absent this episode. We do briefly see Shinobu where she's very close to getting Momo, but she's worried about the lead formers. And of course, lead formers basically, in the case of Queen, he's getting reports from all over the island about samurai rampaging all over the place. And of course, they get information about what happened with Trafalgar Law. It's like, oh, a former warlord is here. And I'm surprised Queen doesn't say which one, because there's several of them. They could, all I said was former warlord, which that's when he gets to the Trafalgar Law thing. And then he gets on the screen and says, "Hey, everybody who's drunk, stop drinking, put down your drinks, and pick up your weapon. It's an enemy raid. Fight." Yeah, a really good thing here. And then then we get to the best sequence of the episode. One thing that we build up toward, basically based on the title of the episode. We have the 8 samurai on the roof. You would say 9, but one of them turned traitor, so just the 8 samurai. Where they're on the roof with Kaido. And then all of a sudden the minks show up. Yes, the minks. which I believe this is actually their first appearance. Well, first appearance in quite a while in the season. I mean, yeah, they appeared prior to the raid, but they were absent for quite a while, and here they are. And they mentioned, oh yeah, it's a full moon about the Sulong stuff, and it looks like though they're everybody there, including specified Kaido, and then Jack shows up with some reinforcements. Yes, Jack. And then we get flashback to the zoo arc, and we get also mention about him when he gassed the island. That did happen, but we actually give a reason why he was there, because I don't remember. It's been a while since I watched the Zoo Island arc. That was about 2 years. It was about, oh, how long ago was that? About 4 years ago. Watched the Zoo Island arc. And I don't really remember if they mentioned exactly what was the reason for him being there. I do remember him gassing the island and him being wrecked by the actual Zoo Island itself. That did happen. But then here we see something completely new, where you ask frequently about the samurai, where the samurai is, and they say I have no idea who he is, and then he beats them up, slices them, destroying some buildings, and then he proceeds to gas the island. And here's something really weird. His men put on the Punk Hazard suits. I'm not kidding about that. The very same gas suits from Punk Hazard of all places, and they kill several people from the Minks, wondering where Renzo is. And of course, Renzo goes, I was the warrior looking for. He's like, really? You? Yep. And then we have where apparently that cat or dog storm a cat here about to transform, and then the musketeers them, wait, don't transform just yet. We'll transform first, take care of Jack, and you take care of Kaido. And then we had this great transfer sequence of all the Minks transforming. And it's very good. First time we've seen a transformation sequence in this series. Well, the last time we saw the Sulong transformation was actually in Whole Cake. Though we only had 2 Sulongs. First it was Carrot and then Peckham's. This time it's pretty much a lot of the Minks and take on Jack's troops. And Jack, apparently, his fur actually changed color, because I remember it was actually brown. This is a little more of a dark brown. Where he uses woolly mammoth form. Here it's a light brown. Like, did the animators forget what color his wool was? I mean, I get the fact it's been several years since he basically transformed into his form. But could they remember exactly what his fur looked like? The color? So he's like shocked the fact how strong they are. And then we're about to see the transformation of dogs from cat into Sulong forms, and that's the end of the episode. Really good episode, and I can't wait for next week. And this one feels as though this is like this new chapter of the manga feels as though we're having a lot of characters we're missing for quite a while, and Luffy does briefly in the chapter, but this is a really good chapter. It's like a lot to happen here. This is chapter 1000 in the manga, echoing the impermanence of all things. We see Brook basically just bending down and seeing a group of soldier ants just walking across him. And then we see apparently a chamber where Scratchman is talking to X Drake, where they're just basically drinking and like, oh, you're a Navy spy. You don't even think a Kaido or not. And apparently they've been drinking, and then anyway, I've heard of who trusts anyway. Let's not get into arguing anymore who's trustworthy. I'm bringing this up because I think it'll benefit us both. You'll never get the opportunity like this again. And then we see some people fight on the stairs. And then we see apparently Kinemon's legs. Yes, Kinemon's legs running about. Like, what the heck? Like, last time I saw this in series was back in Punk Hazard. Like, why the heck is Kinemon's legs running about? Yeah, this is kind of weird. It was like, oh, just his legs. And then, of course, there's a giraffe who just, well, takes out one of the Empires. And then later we see various members of the 9 Samurai look like they're surrounded by a fire. We see Kaku where she is basically on the ground bleeding. I'm really hoping she's not dead. And apparently it looks like that Kaido has been sliced in half. Element Lonkaku. I found some other allies. It's hard to believe I still live, with my torso severed. After Sulong cut me in two, perhaps it was never properly attached again. So, are you saying that apparently that when he got sliced up back in Punk Hazard, that apparently wasn't properly reattached? I thought it was. It's been reattached for quite a while. Apparently, it slipped. It's a miracle if I can save Kaku's and anything else. And we hear some intercom like, "Hey, Andrew Kandro. Is that the voice of beheaded Orochi? But Kandro is dead already." Yeah, Kandro has actually been, he's been killed. Listen, Orochi, as you sound like you're on death's door, Kandro. Indeed, the curtains are closing. We've done Everly. It was a splendid act. Huff, huff. Your praise means everything to me, my lord. Can you hear the audience? Can they cheer for you? For me? That's right. But alas, how gallantly Valsam. Yeah, like, how the heck could... Oh, and they reveal something really interesting, though. Where apparently, like, let's just basically unleash this giant creature that apparently springs out from the final acts. The glorious death of the Kazuru clan. Kenzaburo. Don't touch it or you catch fire. Like, what the heck is like this weird monster creature? Oh, yeah, and the island's still falling apart. Kaido is... Yeah, I believe this is Kaido. Or it could be Momo. Just flying through the island. Everybody celebrating on the festival. We see Brook finally do something. Yes. He passing through. And then we see briefly CP0. I'm like, what the heck are they doing here? And then we briefly see cameos by Marco. We see Enzo, Imaru, Luffy, Kaido. Heck, even freaking Zoro, where he's fighting King along with Sanji fighting Queen. And King, we still don't know what the heck he looks like. And yet somehow, Orochi's still alive, despite the fact he got beheaded. And he says, don't think I didn't know Kaido. You got a huge army at the castle. All the weapons you had, I created. Like a lamp contract, blow us all kingdom come. Where are you, for Drew? Get here so we can escape. This power order does not concern us. Mr. Yamato, where are you? Armory is on the floor. Cast basement. Making time. And of course, she's running, and we see an opening in like the floor, where we see. Looks like that Big Mom is basically beating Captain Kidd. While signal checking for law. And then he does anesthesia and hits Big Mom hard. Is dead. And of course she tries to use shockwave. Of course she's steaming from the mouth. Yes, she's steaming from the mouth. And she's bleeding from the mouth too. And she calls Captain Kidd a brat. You ever do that, you little brat? Here, I think a sign. I'm stuck to Mama. What's going on? Did I turn into a magnet? My weapon. And then we see, another version of Punk Clash. Where apparently it looks like it squishes Big Mom. Now get me out of here, Trafalgar. Don't tell me what to do. Punk Clash. And that's the chapter. I felt as though this one, a lot was going on with this one. We see, various stuff set up here. We see that Kandro apparently has been sliced in half again. Okay, that's been unusual. So, it was nice we could chance to see a lot of cameos, a lot of people. But I'm thinking, okay, we do see a lot of the Straw Hats in the show. We see Luffy, we see... Let's see, yeah, I think the only Straw Hats we don't see in this chapter is Nami, Robin, and I believe Jinbei. I think you'll see Frankie was not in this chapter either, but I've seen a good chance to see a lot of them. It seems like they were just building to something. I'm glad Yamato gets something to do. I do have this really good feeling. I think a lot of people have this feeling that she will definitely join the crew, no problem. And Kara officially out of the crew. Jinbei is already technically a member of the crew already. So, and well, with Kara joining the crew along with Yamato, we probably will also see Tama join the crew too because she really wanted to go out to sea. So it won't be much problem there. But aside from these few people, like who else is joining the crew from Wano? Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Mobile will send his beautiful sister out to sea, given the fact she's attracted to Zoro. Yeah, apparently she's. It's implied in the series that she apparently has fallen in love with Zoro, despite the fact he has not much interest in women at all. No, that's kind of the weird thing about him. He's never developed interest in a woman before, or at least no women just interested in him. She's probably the first woman in the series from interest in him, so I wouldn't be surprised if Momo allowed her to go out to sea. I wouldn't be surprised about that. Yep. But not much to say about this stuff. The chapter I give a 10 out of 10. It's just a really good chapter. Just a lot. It's very busy, which is kind of something. Seems like when you read this, like, man, Oda is set up a lot of stuff for the next several chapters in this one chapter alone. I'd say he probably set up the next 10 chapters alone just for this thing. And he's probably thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to have this stuff basically expanded in the anime whenever the anime gets this one. I would not be surprised about that. Yep. So yeah, that's it, Sick Love You. Stay tuned for my next, which will be tomorrow, which will be reviews for, hopefully for the dub for One Piece. I'm going to continue reviewing that, along with Case Close and Baruto. Okay, so next video. Bye.